Hey there everyone, it is Monday, October 19th. Hope you guys are doing well. Well, I wanted to kind of go over a couple things. I get, PMs and some comments and things like that about, hey, I have an extra $5,000, should I invest in gold, should I invest in silver and stuff like that. And, my advice is this. If you don't have storable food and water and, means of defending yourself, sanitation methods, things like that, things of that nature. If you don't have all that in place first, don't worry about $5,000 for gold, guys, right? I mean, I could care less about that. You need these things first. You need to have your storable foods. I would prefer freeze-dried canned foods. Freeze-dried is pretty good because it'll last a while. I happen to use Mountain House. I'm not, a customer. I'm just a customer. I'm not a shareholder or owner or anything like that. Mountain House has some decent freeze-dried foods. I've opened a couple cans and they taste pretty good. I mean, they're certainly not gourmet, but if it's that bad, it's certainly better than nothing. But they are tasty though. Okay. As far as water, I would stick with distilled. So you don't have all the fluoride and all the other stuff in it. Ozarka makes a decent distilled water. I was looking on some information about that. Looks like they have very little and all the particulates that you don't want in your water. Find a way to store that and keep it rotated. I would also look at, and what I meant by sanitation methods earlier was, if you think about it, you may not have trash service, right? We happen to have a septic system, thank goodness, in a way. It's kind of a pain, but then, if you don't have sewage, well, all I need is water, flush toilets, right? So, you got to think about that sort of thing too. Your sewage system, if you're in the city and you're urbanized, if your sewer system's off, I mean, who knows what will happen. You also need to think about your trash, Do you need to, burn your trash? We happen to be out in the suburbs of the Chicagoland area, so, we're far enough out where if things are going crazy, right, we could just, dig up a hole and then burn our trash if we really need to. So if you guys are in an urbanized area, that might be a consideration too, because, I was kind of thinking about that. I was thinking about people down on Michigan Avenue and, stuff like that. They're in those high-rise apartments. After a few days, a few weeks even, no trash service. What do people like that do? Sanitation starts to become an issue. So, I mean, I don't know. Another thing I want to talk about too was, there's been talk about the October 19th, 20th. There's supposedly some stock market crash coming. Of course, today we just rose higher. Heck, I guess anything can happen tomorrow, the 20th. But, again, there's just so much liquidity in the markets right now, guys. I mean, basically all left are the banks, 401k plans, pension funds, a lot of the other investors, the day-to-day investors, they're kind of day trading perhaps. And some of the other investors pretty much have left the markets. They got into gold and precious metals and commodities and things like that. So I don't see banks and people like that selling anytime soon. So I don't know about the 1920th thing. I know there's some talk about the 25th, the web bots. Perhaps there will be some kind of, I don't know if it's a dollar collapse per se, but maybe a freezing of the trading of the dollar, some sort of lockdown, perhaps a bank holiday. I know there's, the thing about this too, about the 25th is interesting. It seems like there's also other talks, some other theories and some other people who do this sort of thing. Talk about something happening at the end of the month. So I guess my advice to everybody out there is think about food, think about water, sanitation, definitely ways to defend yourself. Because guys, I'm not worried about the Gestapo knocking on the front door. Perhaps I'm more concerned about my neighbors, whom I like a lot, but they don't listen to me either. And if they find out things are going crazy, and they find out I have some food, well, if you haven't eaten in a few weeks, and you're seeing your people starving, all that, it could get very nasty, and I hope it doesn't come to that. I hope not at all. I would ask God for help for that. Hopefully it doesn't happen. Anyway, today the dollar has continued its decline. And perhaps there is something about that. I mean, right now it's 75.25 as of this video. Gold continued to soar at 1063. I mean, it just continues to rise. And of course the Dow ended up at 10,092, hung around that 10,100 mark. So looked very strong today. Decent volume as well. wheat's up, of course. I mean, just everything's up. I mean, crude is, starting to look, kind of touch around $80. So this tells me that perhaps there's a little bit of inflation kind of leaking out from the equity markets now. Perhaps you're starting to see that in other things, because obviously everybody's concerned, right? So everybody's starting to buy up your commodities and things like that. And as people buy up their commodities, things are just going to get more expensive. And you can see how that just kind of snowballs. It becomes inflation. Commodities become more expensive. Those are things you make things with, so they have to pass on the higher cost to everybody else. And there's your inflation. So I think perhaps we're going to start seeing CPI perhaps increase. This talk of recovery and stuff like that, I mean, it's just unbelievable what a snow job they're doing. Just because the Dow's at 10,000, I mean, it doesn't mean that the recovery is here. That to me, it's just kind of a tachometer. The speedometer to me is dollar index, gold, oil. Those are the three things I really look at. And that to me is telling me a whole different story. And I'm sure you would agree with that. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, get some food. Even if the web bots, if you believe or don't believe that, you know what, if it's true, God forbid, at least you'll be prepared. Get some freeze-dried food, some canned foods, water, means to defend yourself. Think about sanitation, clothing, things like that. Just plan for the worst. Just an utter collapse. Mad Max, kind of craziness, and hopefully it won't get like that. It probably won't get like that, but if it does, hey, you're prepared. You just bought yourself an insurance policy. If not, you know what? At some point, the dollar is going to collapse. I mean, it's just a weight. It's just on the edge of the cliff, just teetering. At some point, it's going to go, and there's nothing we can do to stop it. So, anyway, guys, that's all I have to say for now. Just prepare. I have kind of a bad gut feeling about the end of this month, and it's nothing. I don't have a stack of secret government documents or anything like that. It's just more of a gut feeling. Take that as you wish. But I think something's coming the end of this month. I don't know what. Just kind of feeling. And maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's just a little gas. I hope that's all it is. Anyway, guys, take care of yourselves. Do what you can to get prepared. And if nothing happens at the end of this month, you'll be prepared for the next couple of years. Because again, it's not a matter of if, it's pretty much when. So, guys, have a great week. Please rate and comment. I'd like to hear your comments out there too, and let me know what you guys are doing to prepare and what you guys think too. And please subscribe to my channel, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Okay, have a great day. Bye bye now.